Hey guys, and welcome to Red Devils United. We are playing Arsenal today. It is a huge game for us, and fingers crossed we can get some kind of a result. We need a big result today, and I'm going to be joined by my brother, a Liverpool fan, which means we can look at possibly discussing um, what he thought of Liverpool's result and also their own top four and title chances, and what he thinks of United's after our slump, if you want to call it that, against West Brom, which, let's not kid ourselves, was absolutely horrendous. Just bear with me now. I'm going to just look at bringing in Paddy to join us in a moment. But as we said, we have a big game against Arsenal today. And Arsenal, I mean, might not be the physical, amazing battles of the past with Vieira and Keane. And again, when the two players, the two teams were the best that there were in their era. You know, I mean, Arsenal are currently 10th, and United, of course, whilst second, have not been competing for a title for the last 7 years, which is in itself, somewhat hard to say. So again, it is unfortunate with regards to the fact it's not a top of the table clash. But don't get me wrong, this is a huge game. This is a huge game for both teams, and we have to really see what we can do in relation to that. I'm going to bring Paddy in here, and he will be able to join us. Paddy, how you doing? Welcome to Red Devils United again. Your phone is at a weird angle, so I'm looking right up at you.
It's not my phone. It's the laptop.
Very good. Now, just speak up there. Just want to make sure the sound is good enough for you.
Hello, you all right?
Yeah, buddy. Good to talk to you. Good to see you. So Paddy, as everybody will remember, is a Liverpool fan, and Paddy, you had a good result during the week.
Yeah, back in it, aren't we?
Are you?
No, City's will win it.
Yeah. I mean, I know. Like, I mean, you are in a title race. I mean, you're only 3 points off us. 4 points off.
Level after today, John. We'll level after tomorrow.
Okay, so yeah, you're predicting an Arsenal win.
I think it'll be an Arsenal win. Yes, 2-1.
And then you're predicting a Liverpool win on top of that.
Yeah, we'll be West Ham.
Okay, well, I mean, it's confidence. It's confidence. I mean, they are sitting, just outside you. They're right there alongside Liverpool.
Yeah, but we're going to have confidence after the other day.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, you're playing Spurs. A Jose Mourinho team, and the fact that Liverpool were struggling to break teams down, I was disappointed that they conceded 3 goals. Still a great result for Liverpool, though. Great result. And it puts you right back in it. Now, this game today, Arsenal v United, going to go over what team I think he'll pick. But also look at our own title chances. I mean, you said there yourself, City. I think, there's a few teams in the race with City. They will hit another blip. They're not going to go the rest of the season with a 100% record. So they are going to draw a game. They are going to lose a game. And we still have to play them. You still have to play them. That's another 6-point swing.
Yeah, well, hopefully you can take points off them, and then we can take points off them. That opens it up again.
That's what I mean. But I do think City will win the league, and I think about 5 or 6 teams are fighting out for the other 3 places, which means there's going to be some disappointed teams.
I think it's City, Man United, Liverpool, and then whoever else gets fourth.
Do you? I mean, that's a bold statement. Do you think we'll finish above you?
Well, it'll be between us for second and third.
Okay. You don't want to say so just yet. I mean, it's too close to call.
No, it doesn't matter if you finish second or third, in my opinion. But it's not winning the league, is it?
It's not. But it is closing the 33-point gap that existed between us last season, and that's good enough for me.
In my opinion, though, that's not United closing the gap. That's Liverpool playing worse we've come back to you instead of you coming to us, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you have dropped more points than you did last season. Well, we're on similar. Well, we're on more points than we were last season at this stage. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just gonna have a look and see if I can bring in the screen here. Okay.
Yeah, just trying to get his game on. Okay.
Yeah, bear with me. And I'll see if I can turn this around now.
It's a really good idea for it. And it could work out really well because I've got a password as well.
Okay, so we can do that.
I might be able to airdrop this to the TV.
Now, just going to widen our canvas here.
Just give me 1 sec, I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You didn't plug the back of my TV back in, did you?
Okay, so guys, what we are looking at here now is the team, or at least a team, I would like to see play today. Now, I do actually think, or I would like to see maybe some changes to this team. So bear with me. And we'll have a little look at what the bench holds for us. So, right, De Gea in goal. Arman Bissaka kind of picks himself. I believe Bali is somewhat injured at the moment. So we can take Bali out. I think Lindelof will start alongside Maguire, even though I would like to see Bali in there, guys. I would. We'll have Tellez out, and I think Shaw will come in at left full. Made a big difference for us against Sheffield United, if only too late. Matic will come out, and I think we will see possibly. Just bear with me now. Who am I looking for? Looking for McTominay. So, McTominay. Where is he hiding? Okay, I'll have to have a look at that in a minute because I cannot find McTominay in this. But I do think it'll be Pogba, McTominay, Bruno, and I think he will go for Rashford, Cavani, and Martial to start. I think McTominay replaces Matic in the centre of midfield. And again, I'll try to find McTominay in a bit at the moment. Just can't see him there. So for now, hold on a second. Might be able to find him here. Just very quickly, bring him in. Hiding up here, is he? Yes, there he is. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. But now that that's done, we can take Matic out. We can bring McTominay in to the midfield. So let's have a quick chat with Paddy. We'll bring him back in and see what he thinks of this. Paddy, how you doing? Welcome back. So just trying to get that sorted there a minute ago. But this is the 11 that I'm looking at. You may be able to see it there. But this is the 11 that I think we should play with. De Gea, Arman Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw. I thought Shaw done really well when he came on against Sheffield United, albeit he probably came on too late in the game. And he's been in fantastic form, especially in the FA Cup where we knocked ourselves out, Liverpool. So the big changes I've made is Rashford for Greenwood. No, sorry, Cavani for Greenwood, starting over the Sheffield United game. And McTominay centre, defensive midfield instead of Matic. What's your thoughts on the team?
Strong team. I'll hold my hand up. I thought Cavani was a horrible signing, but he's proved to be a key component to your squad. To be honest,
Yeah, I mean, and he's I think like there's a lot of talk of what he's doing behind the scenes and the effect he's having on players, but I just think his experience, like he's a guy, he's like people talk about his age, but like, he's younger than Vardy, he's younger than Suarez. I think he's just seen as old because he's been in the game so long. He's 32, he's not young, but what I would say is that he's having an effect on the players themselves, his experience, the amount of goals he scored in his career. Obviously, he's won lots of titles, but that's in France. And hopefully it helps lift Rashford and Martial.
Yeah. I think it's a strong team.
So you think Arsenal win today, though, right? So other than Arsenal's current form, right, which is 5 wins in 6, okay, really good form from Arsenal. What else makes you think that they'll take a win today?
It's just the way your team set up against the bigger teams in the league. I know you are winning and you do pull some results off, but it's just a negative side to United. I think playing against the top 6 teams, you don't tend to get results often.
Yeah, no, I mean, the way I'd look at it is last year we were the best against the top 6 teams. We beat them more than anybody else.
Yeah.
This season, I think the 6-1 loss at Spurs has made Ole change how he shapes against the top 6. Okay, he's basically looked at it in a way where he's essentially said, right, I'm never letting that happen again. Now, conceded no goals against City, got a draw. Conceded no goals against Chelsea, got a draw. Conceded no goals against Liverpool, got a draw. So I think he said to himself, I'm not losing 3, 4, 5-0 to these teams. Okay? We may drop 2 points, but they won't gain 2 points. They'll also draw. And he has gone out defensively, I agree. And he's put himself in a position where he's trying to counter. And I think he shot himself in the foot twice. Against City and Liverpool, a draw 0-0 is brilliant. But against Arsenal, in the form they were in when we first played them, we should have walked that game. We should have ran away with that game. Yeah. And now against Chelsea, when we drew against Chelsea, we should have won that game as well.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. He has set up defensively. Do you think he's going to do that again today?
I do. Yeah, I think he'll sit back. He'll let Arsenal have as much of the ball as they want, and then try and catch them on that counter attack. I don't know. I just feel Arsenal might have just the edge. And it's slight. It's just a slight edge. It's not going to be much in it.
All right. Okay. So you're predicting a close game one way or the other. I'm hoping to see a reaction from United after the kind of lackluster display we saw against Sheffield United. Martial had a terrible game. Rashford, I thought, was equally, if not worse than Martial. Very lazy in his running. I thought Bruno and Pogba were okay, but they literally had nobody in front of them running. Throughout that game, I kept posting that our front 3 is really flat. They're just sitting there with 5 defenders around them, and they're not even moving.
Your mic keeps going weird, John.
All right.
You keep muffling now.
Okay, I'll check that in a bit. Go on, though. Yeah. Good. But yeah, so I thought our front 3, Greenwood, Martial, and Rashford, all had terrible games against Sheffield United, and we need to see a massive reaction today.
Well, that's the definition of being in a run in a title chase. If they don't respond from what happened at Sheffield United, you can pretty much cancel them out of any chance of winning the title.
Oh, I'd agree because we've gone on runs before, right? When Ole took over as an interim manager, we had a 14-game winning streak, right? And then when we lost, when we came out of that good run, we fell off a cliff. Okay, I think we didn't even get a win in 8 or something like that. Then we had a really, really poor start to last season, and then we went on a 20-game winning streak. Okay, but then as soon as we stopped winning, like this season, it falls off a cliff. We follow up a loss with another loss and a draw and another loss before we get the run going again. Now, we've just come out of a 13-game winning streak, haven't lost an away game in a year, which is where we're playing Arsenal today away. And if we can respond to losing to Sheffield United with a win, and a convincing win, then that's the progress I want to see. Because so far, every time we've had a run, we followed it up by going off a cliff and taking ages to get it back on again.
Yeah.
So, it's a huge game for us to get a win today, if we can.
Yeah. No, I think a draw is still a bad result, in my opinion. I think
a draw is a bad result. I mean, we can't afford to drop 2 points with City steaming ahead and you boys catching up. And then you've got your West Hams, your Aston Villas, your Evertons, your Leicesters. They're all swimming around us. And if we drop any points, we're going to find ourselves falling not out of the top 4, but we could 2-3 games, we could fall out of the top 7.
Yeah, I think I heard the commentator saying when we were playing with Tottenham that there was 22 points in it this time last year, and now there's 22 points from 1st to 17th.
Yeah, like it's massive difference. And when you look as well, and forget the whole 17 thing, but just looking at the top 7 teams.
Top 10, there's only 11 or 12 points in it. It's not a lot.
It's not, but I want to just look at it because I want to look at, with regards to games in hand, okay? I want to just take a look at the table here, Paddy. So, you got United on 40 points, City on 41, right? Fair enough. Right, so then... Sorry?
City have a game in hand, though, yeah?
They do have a game in hand, right? So that'll go up. But the teams below us is what I'm worried about, right? So Everton, they're 33 points, right? So they're
losing at the moment.
7 behind us, but they've 2 games in hand, right?
Losing at the moment.
What?
They're losing to Newcastle at the moment.
Excellent, right? But they've 2 games in hand. And this Sky table is usually in real time. Right? So they probably still have 2 games in hand. But anyway, they have 2 games in hand. If they won them, they would be only a point behind us. Everton have 2 Chelsea, they're 7 points behind. They're not going to do anything. 10 points. Arsenal 10 points. That's 8th and 9th, right? So there's a good 10 points between 8th and 9th. Aston Villa 29 points, but 2 games in hand, so they could be on 35, right? And that would be level with West Ham. Liverpool 37. So you're talking about the top 6 are separated by 5 points. And that doesn't include Tottenham. I'm after putting Aston Villa in ahead of Tottenham because of their games in hand.
Yeah, it's crazy how close it is at the moment.
Yeah, it's like 5 points.
You can throw a blanket over it.
If we lose 2 games, that's 6 points. We find ourselves in 6th.
Yeah.
I mean, win 1 match and City drop, we're top of the table. Lose 2 games, we've already lost one against Sheffield United. You can find yourself in 5th or 6th, and it's going to be. I think it's just going to be an amazing tough slog. I think top 4. I think 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th won't be decided until second last, if not the last day of the season. I think it's all going to be there for any of those teams.
I believe that too. I just think the team that goes on the run now wins the league. Whichever team can go on that 12, 13, 14 game run will win the league. Yeah,
no, it'll be huge because you look at City, they're way more than capable of going on a massive run. Just here now, comments come in. Hope Man United put them in better than you. Okay, that is from John Toland Senior, who's joined in and watching the video. So welcome, thanks. Played a round of golf against Dad on the PGA 2K21. And he beat me by 7 shots.
What computer did you play that on?
I downloaded the game to my laptop so I could play online.
All right.
It's a thing called Steam, STEAM. You download that for free, set up an account, and then if you buy a game, you can use that to play it.
All right.
But anyway, back to the game. So you're looking at Arsenal to win. Give me a score prediction.
I think it'll be a 2-1 game.
2-1 game to Arsenal.
It'll be close. It could even go 2-1 United, to be honest. But
Paddy,
I
you're
just think
such a. I've
Arsenal.
never
I think
seen
no. I
someone
think
sit on the
Arsenal will just.
fence.
I think Arsenal will just edge it. I really do.
Right, so Arsenal to edge at 2-1.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to go with Man United 2-0.
Right.
All right. And we'll see what happens. Don't forget the 50 quid now from the Liverpool bet you lost.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. We have a doubles or quits when we play it again.
Oh, is that how it works? Okay,
That's
fine.
always how it works.
All right, very good.
We'll catch it. We play it again. When do we play it again?
Oh, it's not till late in the season.
Yeah, I was looking at some run of games coming up, like.
Just take a look here at Man United's games. And we look at May. We're playing is on the 1st of May. So you're in our final 5 games in May.
Right. What do you make of Frank Lampard being sacked?
I think like he's because he spent 250 million and he brought in like 6 new players. He kind of shot himself in the foot. He finished 4th last year, but like let's not pretend he was miles off United. They were level on points. They were 4th because of goal difference, right? He got them through the group stages of the Champions League.
Yeah.
He had no reason to buy 7 players.
Yeah.
Like, or whatever it was that he brought in. He had a team there. Yeah, he wanted to make up for the window that he missed. But, like, what's the point? The amount of time it takes to... I mean, look at United. You know, they bring in Van der Beek. He eased them in. Liverpool with Keita. Fabinho even. Easing them in over time. He buys 6, 7 players and just, boom, you're in the first team. And they haven't gelled. So I thought he shot himself in the foot.
Do you think Abramovich is doing the right thing as an owner, though? Sacking manager after a few months?
I think, like, when you look at it, since Abramovich took over in 2003, he's won 5 titles. United have won 6. I think he's the 2nd highest number of titles since then over all the teams. United have the most. So he's sacking managers, but he still won more than Arsenal, who didn't sack Arsene Wenger for however many long. Thing is, you do need to sack a manager when they're not doing what's right. The problem is Chelsea sack managers who are even successful. Yeah. You know, and sacking a manager what's Lampard? He's in the job like 1 year and a few months. Like, I mean,
I was looking at Lampard's
stats. How do you build a team?
I was looking at Lampard's stats, and had Liverpool had done the same thing, Klopp would have been sacked because Lampard had a better record.
Oh yeah, like I always say that though. I always say, like, you know, all Liverpool fans used to, like, you know, they were taking the mick out of Ole a bit, and they were like, oh yeah, I hope he gets a 20-year contract and all. And I'm like, you know, they're like, oh, he's going to get sacked. And I'm like, you do realize that if you use the same attitude against Klopp, you as a fan would have had him out, because he finished 8th in his 4th season, and he finished 4th in his 2nd and his 3rd seasons. Yeah. Now, in his 4th season, what he was building brought fruition, and then in his 5th season, you got your 1st title in 30 years. So I don't understand what Abramovich wants Lampard to do in 1.2 seasons, like literally 1 season and 2 or 3 months. What does he want them to achieve?
Yeah, I thought he worked a miracle just getting them into the top 4 last year.
Yeah, like, it was crazy. And like Ole said the same thing, you know. I mean, managers do come and go, and Chelsea are probably the worst for it at the moment, but he had his slumps. And a 20-game run last season was what got us in the Champions League. Now he has us top of the table. Back off now with City, just keep switching with them. But like, I mean, if we just knee-jerk reaction and fired him, it goes to show that if you're only looking at results, you'll never build anything that sustains anything. Because you look at what Ole does, it's way beyond just the fact that we're sitting kind of 2nd place. You know, shipping out 11 players like he did, bringing in new players, changing the culture, changing the confidence, changing the atmosphere, changing the academy, changing the medical staff. It's all the same things Klopp did. You know, Klopp had to get rid of like 20 players, and he brought in 26 players. Like, you can't do that in 1 season or 2 seasons. You have to give it 3 or 4 years before you can see the fruits of that. Yeah,
I think the only difference between Liverpool and United, though, is Klopp picks the players that he wants and he gets them.
Sometimes I think Liverpool have a transfer committee, though. They have a football director.
No, they do have that. But
yeah,
they do.
And I think Klopp will sign off on a signing. Klopp will say yes, or he might say no.
The board will never make a signing unless Klopp gives the green light for that signing to come in.
Yeah, he'll give a green light, and that's a big difference. And Liverpool transfer policy has been like one of their shining lights over the last 5 years. You've had some misses, but
it used to be terrible. It used to be the worst.
But like no, I mean recently you've had some misses. Some of them are like meh. Most of them are gold. Like your Salah, your Mane, your Fabinho. I mean, Kate is kind of hit and miss, and
it's his injuries though. I don't think it's him.
And Minamino is kind of like meh. Shaqiri was always bought to be a squad player. He was never going to be more than that, so that's okay. But I think like the fact he's haven't bought a centre half, that tells you that Klopp doesn't have full say, and that's the way it should be. But like I think since Ole took over, I'm way more happy with our signings. You know,
I think Ole
the team itself is just way more balanced than it used to be.
Yeah, I think Ole himself will want more say in what's going on. I think the board will have more. What's the word? Like they'll listen to him more because he's got the United blood running through him.
Yeah, no, I think they'll take his advice more. I think they'll listen to him with regards to players he wants. Now, whether they get them, because I mean, Ole will want Haaland up front. Ole will want Sancho on the right. Ole will want a defensive midfielder, and he'll probably want a centre half. Now,
I'm not sure, you know,
the board will know he wants that. He's not going to get that. There's no way he's going to get all that. Sancho will probably cost 80 to 100 million. Haaland has a release clause of 76 million.
Yeah.
And any centre half, like centre half is like water in the Sahara. There's very few of them. So any centre half that's worth his salt is going to cost a bomb. Defensive midfielders are few and far between as well at the moment. So, you know, getting an Ndidi, a Declan Rice, that's another 70 million or so.
Yeah.
And with COVID going on and no fans in stadiums, and you know, we lose a lot of revenue from other streams because people aren't out and about in the world buying United stuff. They're just not there. So all those revenue streams dropping. We could afford, I'd say we'll buy 3 players. But of all those choices, we could probably afford 2 of the 5 we would actually want.
Do you reckon United will go big in the summer then and spend 150, 200 million?
I think they'll spend about 150 million in the summer. I think they'd need to spend about 250 million if they want to get the 3 players they want. They won't get them. I think they'll get 3 players, but whether they're the 3 players they want, I doubt. I think they want Sancho, they want Haaland, they want Declan Rice, right? And then if Pogba goes, they'll want Grealish, right? But let's just pretend Pogba stays for the moment. So Declan Rice, Sancho, and Haaland. I'd say they might get Declan Rice. They probably won't get Sancho or Haaland. So they'll have to find a new right winger and then trust in the strikers they already have, because I know Cavani's staying on for another year. Diallo, by the way, our 7 million signing from Napoli, he scored today for the under-23s, making his debut. I'm looking to see if now, because he trains with the first team, I'm looking to see if he makes his first team debut at some point now this season.
He might get brought in for an FA Cup game.
That's what I mean. Like, just bring him in for some cup games, Europa Cup games. Give him some game time on that right wing, and if he proves himself to be attacking flair and creating chances that we seem to lack on that side of the pitch, then start him in a league game. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
But we need a lot of players. What about Liverpool, though? I mean, your team is aging more than our team. I think over the next 2 years, you're going to need at least 4 or 5 players. Who would be your ideal 3 signings?
Well, I think we're along the same line as you. So I think he's looked at Haaland, he's looked at Sancho. It's whether or not he can get the board to fork the cash up for them too. He'll probably buy another centre half. I think he's looking at that Koulibaly, whatever his name is.
Koulibaly from Napoli, yeah.
Yeah, he's not
the youngest anymore, but he's savage.
There's another one from
the RB Leipzig centre half. Everyone's
RB
looking
Leipzig, at. Yeah, apparently they're linked with him in the summer too.
Yeah,
he's a lot cheaper. He's only 20-odd million.
Yeah, and you're playing against him directly now.
Yeah,
in a few weeks, so you'll get a good
centre half. I think he'll buy a striker because he has Jota. Don't forget.
Yeah.
So I think you'll get another striker just to link up with Jota as a young lad, and then it's going to be strange because we're going to have the likes of Van Dijk coming back next season. That's going to be like a new signing for us, but he's not played this season.
Yeah.
You think about it, and then you're going to have like a new signing in Fabinho going back into the middle of the park. It's going to be strange because Liverpool, like Rio Ferdinand hit the nail on the head against Tottenham. He said it himself. He goes, "What we're losing from the middle of the park because we're playing our central midfielders in defence is huge to how the team used to play last season." He says the reason they're not playing as well or as fluently is because they're sacrificing so much from the middle. Playing the
Don't disagree. Yeah, the way they play requires those midfielders to be there. I mean, it's not just the strikers that are suffering. I mean, the midfielders don't get any assists, but I think like they chase the ball down, they win the ball back quickly, they force the other team to give the ball away and to make errors, and then your lads latch onto that so quickly that they get a goal before the other team has had a chance to settle, and that pressing and that causing of errors on the other team's behalf, it's just not there.
Look at the first goal against Tottenham. We won the ball in the middle of the park, but who won the ball? It was Jordan Henderson, and he was in Tottenham's half. He was on the D of the circle in the middle of the park in Tottenham's half. He's the one that played the ball forward for Mane, who played the ball across for Firmino to score. Like that was his assist, like from there, and then I think Mane got the second assist, and then you got Trent Alexander then who had the third assist. So even the Trent and Robertson had a far better game against Tottenham because having Henderson there just gave them the confidence again just to push that a little bit more forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like I'm not a big fan of Henderson as a footballer. I don't think he's very good at dribbling. I don't think he's very good at shooting. I don't think he's very good at skillful passes. He can obviously pass a ball. Most footballers can. So to me, he just feels like Darren Fletcher on steroids running around a pitch.
It was a half decent ball he gave Mane, John. Again.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't rate him. But he's clearly so important to Liverpool that when he's out of that midfield, nothing else is ticking. I mean, obviously you still get wins, you still get some draws, but like I mean, Trent's game is falling apart, and I think it's because he's not able to go as forward as he would want because he's aren't winning the ball back quick enough without Henderson. I think Firmino's game is failing because he is having to do a different role because he doesn't have Henderson behind him.
Yeah,
he has other midfielders that maybe aren't. Well, they just don't simply play the same. It's hard to say why Henderson is so influential, but yet without him, you kind of fell out of top four for a little while there. Like so,
I just think he has the players playing for him as a captain of the team. The players seem to respond to him being on the field. Like Trent Alexander, you said it yourself, he's been one of the worst players we've had this season. He's been diabolical, and then he got man of the match against Tottenham, and he was unbelievable.
Yeah, he had to turn around at some stage. So he's too good to keep playing that bad, really. So he had to turn that around at some stage. I'm going to end the broadcast though, so I want to just say thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. I'll get you on again for the next game, and we'll see what happens. But for this match today, I'm going to do a post game reaction. I'm going to do that myself. If you want to jump on, let me know. But at the moment, that will be straight after the match tonight at about 7:30. Your prediction is Arsenal 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
All right. And I'm going to go with Man United 2-0. So fingers crossed I'm right and you're wrong. Until then, thanks a lot for joining me, buddy. I'll catch you soon, okay?
I'll be happy with the draw.
Look at him switching and changing his results again. Go on. I'll chat to you soon.
I'll be happy with the draw.
All right. Thanks a lot.
See you later.
And that's it, guys. Thanks very much for watching Red Devils United. And we're having a chat. This is a bit of a build-up to the Arsenal game and the team I wanted to see play today. But also, we had my brother on, who's a Liverpool fan. So a quick chat about Liverpool, about United, about their chances to overtake City at some stage, or their chances to equally fall down into 6th or 7th, which could happen. And let's hope not. But guys, thanks for joining. Please watch the post-match reaction video tonight after the result against Arsenal. Fingers crossed it is that 2-0 win that I've predicted. Until then, talk to you soon.